Alright, budget magic time. 8 rack in modern. This is our second match after we destroyed ad nauseum in the first one. This hand's fine, a little land heavy. Wouldn't mind drawing a Raven's Crime to take advantage of some of these. What are these, plane chase lands? Godless Shrine, go. Ooh, Shrieking Affliction. Well, let's just lead on Shrieking Affliction. The only downside is now our opponent is definitely going to know what's up. But Funeral Charm, if they're like Abzan or something, could actually kill a creature. Quasali Pride Mage. Well, since we have excess lands, I think we're just going to Smallpox here. Plus, we need to get rid of that Pride Mage, because it could kill our Shrieking Affliction if they had mana up. So we'll discard the Swamp. Oh my god. Well then. Alright, well, the good news is we can kill the Wilt-Leaf Liege with our Victim of Night. But we weren't really prepared for Wilt-Leaf. So there are some bad matchups for this deck. Like the main deck Wilt-Leaf Liege decks. Pretty fringe, but they do exist. The rack. Well, unfortunately, I think we just gotta pass here and kill this Wilt-Leaf Liege. And then go to work next turn with discarding in the rack and such. Gonna go with Scavenging Ooze. Alright. Well, now we're going to Victim of Night, kill the Wilt-Leaf Liege. Swamp. Oh, can we Funeral Charm? So risky. If they have another Wilt-Leaf Liege, we're just like blown out. Let's go with Augur of Skulls, Swamp, and the rack. And pass the turn. So the rack deals at the beginning of our opponent, the chosen player's upkeep, the rack deals X damage to that player, where X is 3 minus the number of cards in their hand. So once we get them to 2 cards, it starts dealing damage. Alright, we take our beats from the Scavenging Ooze, pumped up by Noble Hierarch here. Man, knowing they have Wilt-Leaf Liege makes me very nervous. They're going to path our Augur of Skulls. So we get another Swamp. Well, I hope we get discard, I guess. Well, we gotta go for it. If we die, we die. Wrench Mine. If they have Wilt-Leaf Liege, we're basically dead. If they don't have Wilt-Leaf Liege, we're actually in kinda decent shape. Because we can put them to 0 cards if we want. And then we're actually racing them. So that is the question. Oh my god. Oh yeah. So, last round was a good matchup. This round has got to be the worst matchup imaginable. Our opponent has discarded Lingering Souls, Wilt-Leaf Liege, and Loxodon Smiter this game. Well, I'm not sure what our out is now. Like, we are dealing a ton of damage, but we're taking at least 6, and they can pump up their Scavenging Ooze to make it 7 or 8 with Noble Hierarch. So we're basically dead. I don't think we have an out. Well, that went hilariously wrong. Oh, you never know. Wilt-Leaf Abzan, eh? And we don't even have, since we're a budget deck, Damnation, which would be a good out in this circumstance, but we don't have it. We do have Languish in the sideboard, so we can bring those in for next game, potentially. But this one feels a little rough. Little rough. Not sure if we're going to win this matchup. I guess that comes with the territory of playing a deck like this. So we can just randomly hose like ad nauseum combo, one fringe deck, where they just aren't hardly ever going to beat us. And then we can run into another fringe deck, like Wilt-Leaf Abzan, and we are incredibly huge underdogs. And there's the Lingering Souls. Yeah, we don't have any outs here. Well, let's Raven's Crime, see what the last card in their hand was. Kitchen Fangs. Alright. Yeah. I'm not liking our odds on this one. Not liking our odds at all. So I guess our best bet might be to overload with removal and try to somehow be the control deck. Like, we gotta minimize the damage of them being able to play 4/4s for free, which makes some of our cards way worse, like Wrench Mind, just having them randomly discard 2 big creatures. Funeral Charm, at least with Blackmail, we can kinda target it, kind of choose what they discard. But there's really not much we can do about it. Like, our deck is built around making our opponent discard. We can kind of pretend like we're the control deck, but it seems sort of unlikely to work. Nihil Spellbomb is probably good. I just don't know what else to take out. I guess Funeral Charm and Stupor? See, the problem with this is I don't know how we get our opponent's hand empty with this build. Well, we can kill a lot of things, so that much is good. I guess we'll just Shrieking Affliction here. And if we blackmail and they can reveal 3 cards they want to discard, then good for them. Not much we can do about that. Ooh, alright, let's Augur of Skulls since we happen to draw it. Qasali Pride Mage with an untapped land is pretty bad because it kills our Shrieking Affliction, or can kill it. Could always go on the Augur of Skulls beatdown plan. Only takes 20 turns. Another birds. Did they keep 1 land, 2 birds? And there is the path. That's fine. Well, they had a land too. Shrieking Affliction. Well, I guess we blackmail and trust that there'll be at least something we can discard. Make them discard. In before Lingering Souls, Loxodon, Smiter. Ooh, Gavany Township. Probably are gonna have to take this township. Yeah, well, nice try, buddy, but we are not picking Loxodon Smiter. Well, it's too bad that they're gonna get to kill our Shrieking Affliction, but I think we lose to Township if we let that go, because that makes all of their creatures must kills, and don't know if we can handle that. But we can fight through like their random dorks, like Siege Rhino, for example. It is not a werewolf or a vampire or a zombie, so we get to kill it. We do get drained for 3, but Swamp. Well, I think we hold on to Swamp for now. Play another Shrieking Affliction. Take our chances that our opponent doesn't randomly have Maelstrom Pulse or draw into Maelstrom Pulse, because that would be a blowout. We might be able to removal our way through this game. Kitchen Finks is pretty obnoxious. Well, I guess we Raven's Crime, even though our opponent's going to get to discard a Loxodon Smiter. And then we Raven's Crime again, discarding the Swamp. Hope there's not a Wilt-Leaf Liege or another Loxodon Smiter. Come on. Alright, they discard Lingering Souls. And then we can dismember the Loxodon Smiter. So we are hitting for 6, but our opponent has a pretty fast clock, and they're going to be able to Abrupt Decay to kill a Shrieking Affliction, plus Flashback Lingering Souls. And then we're taking a ton of damage each turn, and they're not taking as much. So we're going to need Languish. Well, land into Languish. Or I guess they can also try to hold cards, too. That's maybe they don't Abrupt Decay, and they try to hold cards to get out of the Shrieking Affliction zone. Definitely flashing back Lingering Souls. And they are going to try to hold a card by the looks. I guess this is wise because they can always cast it at instant speed. But, well, that's good. We did draw a land that we can use to Raven's Crime. So now they're probably going to Abrupt Decay. Yep, kill Shrieking Affliction. Discard whatever their last card is. Hopefully not a whammy. A Siege Rhino. Alright. Now we pass the turn. This turn we do get to hit them for 3, which is good. And then I think we need to Victim of Night this Kitchen Finks to slow down the clock. So we can technically live 2 more turns. But we're going to need, like, Languish and Wrath, I think. And, oh. Did they actually draw something? Another Finks. Ugh. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, we're still technically alive. Smallpox, is it even worth casting? I think we're just dead. They sack a token, or more likely a birds. We sack a land. Then, yeah, we're just dead. I mean, we can't get enough lands to play Languish. And there's no combination of cards we can draw that gets us out of this, so. Well, that's a horrible matchup. First round, we had a really good matchup. Second round, not so much. Basically the opposite.